Shalom, Cosmic Family. The Cosmic Professor is channeling live from the cosmos, and today we're here to talk about Saturn's retrograde in Aquarius, right? So, Saturn goes retrograde every few months, and it is that time, right? So, first off, I want to clear the air around Saturn. Most of us have learned about Saturn in a way that's less than pleasant. And it's meant to be that way for good reasons, right? Because we need balance. So if we have an energy like Venus that brings pleasure, then we also need an energy like Saturn that brings the opposite, what I would say the opposite of that, which is discipline, right? So Saturn's job and role is to help us succeed, to lay the ground foundation and build it up over time. Saturn rules time. Saturn also rules longevity, right? So it's not really that scary depending on how you want to look at it and depending on your level of discipline, right? Because depending if you lack discipline, then Saturn may not be your best friend, whatever. But I think Saturn going retrograde is going to teach us lessons to help us become more accountable and start intentionally creating our reality, right? It's like that wake-up call. We're going to get a lot of wake-up calls during Saturn retrograde, right? It's needed. And Aquarius is about innovation, necessary uncomfortability. Everyone, or the common notion around Aquarius is the rebel. When you think about it, rebels, they create revolutions. The etymology of revolution is revolt. And revolt, I forget like the whole where it stems from, but I know it means to roll back, right? When you think of rolling back, it's all about going against the grain. And so again, hence necessary uncomfortability, doing things different like you never done them before. That is Aquarius's motto, because it likes to come and change up what's already been set into place for so long, right? When you have an energy like Capricorn that has been building for so long, you can't build like that for forever. You need to make change, right? So our habits, what we are accustomed to, Aquarius comes to bring change and say, hey, let's kind of break through those layers and get back to our core intention. Let's be authentic with ourselves. Let's do some introspection for a while and see where we want to take things, right? That's the energy there. So now what can we expect from Saturn going retrograde in Aquarius? These are the themes that I have brainstormed that I feel like will be pretty much prevalent in the collective, right? We will all be under and experiencing, even though it's going to be in our own different ways because all of our charts are respectively different. The major themes are going to be accountability, resourcefulness, authenticity, vision, commitment, bravery, necessary discomfort, as I mentioned, contribution, teamwork, and introspection, right? And so starting with accountability, it's going to teach us the importance of, it has a lot to do with self-awareness, right? Accountability. You can't be accountable for yourself or for others even, which is also Saturn's role. Saturn's role is all about social responsibility, and that's why it rules government, right? Because you're not just only responsible for you, but now you have to mature and become responsible for others. Only way you can do that is by first being aware of self, right? And once in whatever area you need to become more aware, this retrograde will be helping you do that. So don't be surprised if lessons continue to pop up with like one theme of why are you never on time, or why is it that you don't like to listen to what others have to say. You know, whatever theme that is, it might like continuously through these next few months pop up in your face in different ways for you to become aware and hold yourself accountable. Because it's only then when we become self-aware and we hold ourselves accountable, then we can make the decision to change things, right? So that's going to be a huge theme, accountability, right? And especially Aquarius being the rebel, when you step away from the group or you want to innovate things from the group, it implies you taking being brave enough to do that, right? You have to be accountable to do that. You have to say, you know what, I see everyone in the group is doing things the same way. Let me do something different. That's accountability right there, right? Next, we have resourcefulness. And resourcefulness is exactly as it states. It's making the most of the resources that we have, right? Now, Aquarius rules humanity, right? When you think about it, every time I say that, I just think of the globe, right? Just seeing the whole world in front of me. Rules the entire collective. And so oftentimes you'll see people with strong Aquarius placements, or when Aquarius rolls around, there's lots of like charitable movements going on. There's lots of connection amongst people, right? We are stepping into the age of Aquarius, as many know, and something that's really big in this time is the internet that connects all of us. The web, that is a great example of Aquarius, be it too that it rules technology, because technology is innovative, right? And so to attain this, to reach this level of where we can make the world a better place, right? We can stop like global crises. We have to first know how to become resourceful, not using things in excess, right? We have to learn to that we don't always need to go in like, we don't need to start when we have 100 of whatever it is, but just the people around us, just what we have around us, right? Like I'm using my phone to record instead of a camera. I don't need a camera. Right now I have my phone. It works perfectly fine. I'm going to use that to reach you guys. That's resourcefulness right there. A great example, right? That's important because it helps you turn something small into something large, right? You can affect generations just by being resourceful. That's very powerful. That's innovative, right? That's the direction that we're moving in, and that's what another lesson that many of us will be learning. Moving on, another lesson will be authenticity, right? That is important. That also, I believe it aligns with accountability. First, to be authentic, you must be accountable. You must say, well, hey, I have not been being a man of my word, or this doesn't feel like who I am in my core. And Aquariuses, they're very intuitive, right? The birthstone of Aquarius, I believe, is amethyst. That deals with the third eye because they're future oriented. They see where things are headed, right? So you will know when you're not being authentic in yourself, in what way, right? And so, and that's why I say Aquarius can rule introspection, or I think that's a good practice for Aquariuses, or when we have an Aquarius transit like this, right? Introspection will be powerful because it will help you to notice, it will help you to observe your mental patterns, right? So if you've noticed you've been taking on a lot of other people's ideas that aren't resonant with what you truly want for yourself, the foundation that you really want to build. You have to hold yourself accountable there. So then you can put a stop to that and be your true authentic self and say, this direction I need to move in, or I want to move in, okay? That is authenticity right there. And that will be very helpful in its respective ways for all of us, right? It's powerful. Moving on next is vision. As we just was speaking about, vision is very important. Without it, we are kind of like headed nowhere, right? We need vision. And a lot of times, why I love Aquarius, I'm an Aquarius moon, and I'm also Aquarius Neptune, Aquarius in Uranus, right? Or Uranus in Aquarius. Said that wrong. And one thing I love about Aquarius energy is that naturally we are vision oriented. Aquariuses, they can be big dreamers. You know, from young, I always felt special, and I always felt like I had a great purpose in the world, right? And I know that's something common amongst many Aquariuses. They don't feel like they fit in amongst the common status quo, and they want to do their own thing, and they want to go full force with that. And it may be a vision that people don't understand, or it's something that's just really for them, right? So that is important, and that aligns with authenticity. So vision is key, and whatever your vision may be, it's important to take little steps and follow through with it, right? And embrace it. Don't overlook it. Don't say, this is my vision, this is what I want for you, because you might be missing out on great opportunity, not just for now, but for the future to come, okay? Moving on next, we have commitment, right? That's going to be another theme for us. Commitment. Aquarius sometimes can be, we get lots of ideas, right? Like ideas will pop up in our head very fast because we think our brain, we're tapped in, let's just say we're tapped into the higher mind, right? And it's easy for us to play around with lots of different kinds of possibilities, and our mind is just very expansive. So it's important that during this time we learn commitment, because it can be difficult for you to commit to one thing because you may be excited about so many other different things. And that's important for all of our lives, right? We have to be committed to our priorities, things that we have to take care of, right? Your children, your work, your health. These are things that you can't just overlook, right? So there you go. Next, moving on, is bravery. And now all of these things that I just spoke about, from commitment, vision, authenticity, resourcefulness, and accountability, they all take bravery, right? It all takes, okay, I'm not used to doing this. I'm not used to holding myself accountable. I don't know what it's like to go full force with my vision. I don't know what it's like to be resourceful, right? It feels uncomfortable holding myself accountable or being authentic, and that's where bravery comes in, right? And it is necessary. So a lot of us may be learning lessons or put in situations where we have to be brave, right? And it's going to teach us and strengthen us and help us to trust in ourselves more, help us to embrace ourselves more, embrace our visions more, right? And get some things on the road, right? Fortunately, we'll be able to start different things for ourselves and commit to it, right? So if you weren't doing that before, you can get ready to create whatever it is you need to create for yourself, right? Create those opportunities, let's just say. Moving on, we have necessary discomfort. Wow, I layered this pretty accurately. Necessary discomfort, right? But with the remedy of bravery, we'll be able to overcome them. Now, Aquarius is forward moving. It's future based, right? So it's zapping things out of the ethereal realms and creating them now. That's why people may not see your vision or understand what it is that you need to be doing for yourself. That can be uncomfortable. All of these things, accountability, authenticity, like I said, even bravery is uncomfortable, right? So necessary discomfort. And in that regard, you don't even really have to do anything, but just understand sometimes doing the right things is uncomfortable. Just like I have to, I made a vow that I will try to keep up with running a few times a week. And every day as I go running, I just have to be present. Can't think about how long I'm going to be doing this for. Just have to do it. It's uncomfortable. I'm usually out there alone, but it's healthy, right? It's good for me. It's something that I need to be doing. It helps me to build a level of discipline, consistency, and resilience, right? So it is a positive thing for me. Moving on, we have contribution. Right now, Aquarius is an energy again that it is humanitarian based. So it's all about making things progressive, innovating things. So what are you contributing? That is important, and especially if you have if Saturn's sitting in your fourth, if it's sitting in your sixth, or if it's sitting in your seventh, or any house that deals with relation with others, which pretty much almost all the houses do. It's important to understand that you're going to have to contribute in one way or another, right? And even if your role is just being a bigger sibling, being a good role model, you know, practicing all these things we just spoke about, so that those around you can learn it too. Whatever, it doesn't matter what your contribution look like, but in some way you will have to contribute, and that will help things again get things rolling in a great direction. So it won't just be good for you, but it will be good for those around you, and we can all experience much more harmony in our environments, right, so to speak. Next, moving forward, we have teamwork, which I already spoke about that in contribution. I just wanted to elaborate further, but I think I hit all of those points, so we will skip that one and go to, well, the last two I think we spoke about in all of the other ones. I was brainstorming all of these themes, and the last one happened to be introspection, which we spoke about. So there we have it, guys. That these are all things that we can look forward to experiencing, mastering, and working on in the next couple of months. Okay, of course, these are not just things that's going to last for the next couple of months, but hopefully with Saturn's lessons, these are things that will ripple out for the rest of our lives, right? Here to help us and to benefit us and say, wow, at this phase or this point in my life, I learned this and I'm so grateful that I did, right? That's the goal there. And so hopefully this video changed your mind on Saturn, and I just wish all of you the best, and advise that you guys take time to, set aside time for you guys to reflect and introspect, because this is a time where you can mature in a lot of pretty beneficial ways, right? So that is what I have for you guys for this week. I will see you guys on Wednesday to continue the 12th house series, and we are up to the 8th house, which is exciting. It's all about the unseen. So I'll see you guys there. Peace.